Me I hear look a thing I me no like it in a Peter Bunting. Man fi no lick man you know. No, man fi no lick man. What Nikisha Burchell do you why you have to beat her up and pop off her wig and squeeze her in her neck? You know her before you deal with her now. You know of your wife. Nikisha Burchell up on the side, don't? Eh? So what she do? You catch her with her next man. But if you catch her with her next man, you don't have to beat her up, Peter Bunting. You don't have to squeeze her neck. You don't have to pop her wig and dash it away. I say you stay. And you say you want to be the leader of the PNP party. Eh? Woman beater. You love Nikisha Burchell with that little come to help us pum pum what she have. He Peter Bunting. So you never know say you never know say she have more man. Eh? Boy, I mean, you say you go up on a scene and you see her with her next man. And you squeeze her neck and pop her wig. Hey, me can tell you something. You're a public figure, you know. You're a public figure because you're a member of parliament. See? So we have to talk about it. You see, if anybody from the GLP side, what a problem. You remember the member of parliament when name a well bridging down a Westmoreland and name again? When the whole not talk about the man for resign, kind of beat up his wife. Eh? See it there, Nikisha Bird a side chick, or she a sweetheart, or she's a wife. In dirty Peter Bunting, are you me a chat to you know is a woman beater. Me say you don't see the woman with a man tight. And you don't like it and pop off the woman wig. And you know she stay already. I be a false thing she have on. False hair, false body, false breast, false lips, false everything. So why you break her down? To nothing at all?
Madam Speaker, I rise today to confront an incredibly dangerous, deeply unpatriotic assault on the brave men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We are witnessing a calculated crusade by the opposition and their internet trolls and bloggers to systematically tear down the public trust in law enforcement, weaponizing the sensitive issue of crime just to score cheap viral social media soundbites. Just this week, during their contribution to the sectoral debate, we heard the opposition spokesperson rather, on justice, Zuleika Jest, stand up and launch a blistering, inflammatory attack. She fiercely attacked our security forces over police fatal encounters, deploying rhetoric so extreme that it practically accuses this state and this administration of protecting rogue officers by design. Madam Speaker, this is disgusting. It's a disgusting historic low. Out of sheer desperate hunger to grasp power, Mr. Mark Golding and his team are fully prepared to paint the government as a sponsor of extrajudicial killings, entirely unconcerned that they are destroying the morale of the very officers who put their lives on the line to protect us every single night. They are playing with fire, Madam Speaker, because when you recklessly tell the public that their officers, their police force, operates as a state-sanctioned execution squad, you are deliberately planting the seed of anarchy and inviting community violence into our streets. Madam Speaker, the absolute hypocrisy is staggering. While the opposition and their internet trolls are busy running from media house to media house, practicing this toxic chaka chaka politics. They stubbornly and completely refuse to give this Jamaica Labour Party administration a single ounce of credit for the historic, undeniable collapse in serious violent crimes across our nation. The facts do not lie, Madam Speaker, even if the opposition tries to hide them. As of May 31st, murders across Jamaica have plummeted by a massive 23% compared to the same period last year. That represents 67 fewer families grieving, 67 fewer communities torn apart, and a definitive 5-year low in violent homicides. Earlier this year, we recorded the lowest monthly murder figure for any January since systematic disaggregated record keeping actually began in 2001. Serious violent crimes, shootings, and robberies are all trending heavily down. But you will never hear Mr. Golding celebrate a safer Jamaica. You will never hear Mr. Golding celebrate a safer Jamaica. And that's telling for a man who loves Jamaica and wants to rule Jamaica. You will never hear him praise our hard-working police officers for reclaiming our streets. Yes, he will acknowledge it in passing when he's forced to, in certain contexts. Because to the current PNP leadership, a safer Jamaica is a political disaster for their narrative. And I want Jamaicans to understand that. Crime going down does not help the PNP cause. And that is why you should not listen to what they say on this subject. They have vested interests in crime being high. It's a ticket to power. They would rather see our nation bleed so that they can rule over its ruins, completely tossing aside the sacred democratic boundaries that says national security should never be weaponized for partisan warfare. Madam Speaker, we must speak directly about the relentless, exhausting efforts of the police officers and why it is absolutely vital for us as a nation to honor their sacrifice. Thousands of ordinary Jamaicans walk through their communities with a peace of mind they haven't felt in years, sleeping soundly at night and sending their children to school safely because these brave men and women stand as a shield between them and lawlessness. These officers leave their own families behind every single morning, stepping out into volatile spaces, facing down ruthless gangs, and risking their lives to pull illegal weapons off the streets. Yes, Madam Speaker, like any large institution anywhere in the world, the force has a few bad eggs who choose to violate their oath. But this government treats wrongdoers with absolute, uncompromising accountability. We must never allow the reckless actions of a few rogue individuals to dishonor the integrity, the sweat, and the blood of thousands of decent, hardworking police officers who serve Jamaica with unblemished honor. You know, all people have a saying, Madam Speaker, that we shouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You do not dismantle an entire system of public safety to alienate our protectors just because a few individuals fail the standard. We don't curse all of our doctors if one doctor is involved in malpractice. Do we throw all our teachers under the bus because one teacher behaved Badly? Madam Speaker, this dramatic turnaround in public safety did not happen by a stroke of luck. It happened because this JLP government has poured unprecedented historic levels of financial investment into modernizing and upgrading the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We have completely transformed the JCF from an under-equipped force into a highly professional, tech-driven, world-class law enforcement agency. We have built brand new, state-of-the-art police stations, poured billions into specialized tactical training, upgraded their fleets, and completely overhauled their technological infrastructure to guarantee maximum accountability and operational excellence. Our officers have worked tirelessly to heal old wounds, rebuild community relationships, and earn back the genuine trust and respect of the Jamaican people. Yet, with a single classless slash and burn sectoral presentation, the opposition is trying to erase all of that progress and drag our security forces right back into the mud of suspicion and fear. It is a total betrayal of the standards set by past statuesque leaders of our country who always knew where to draw a line in the sand. But as old people always warn us, Madam Speaker, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. You cannot build a stable government on a foundation of manufactured lies, and you cannot secure a nation by demonizing the very men and women who defend it. In 2016, Madam Speaker, this country had approximately 389 violent gangs across Jamaica. To date, we have less than 80 because of the hard work of our police and this government. That's something to cheer about. That's not an accident. That's commitment to service. So while the opposition and their bloggers keep typing their toxic anti-police conspiracies on social media, this Jamaica Labour Party government will continue to invest heavily in our security forces, defend our officers, and build a safe, orderly, and deeply prosperous Jamaica for all. I thank you, Madam Speaker. And I thank you all very much for watching this video. Please like, share, and follow. Wow.
Full representation here in the constituency of Westmoreland Central. And right where we are at the Shrewsbury Logwood community, where I'm here making representation on the road that recently rehabilitated. There are a lot of broken NWC water pipes here on the roadways. I make recommendation with the management of NWC, and thereafter the workers of NWC came in and do some repairs. However, there are other layer of pipes that are leaking. We are grateful for the repairs that has been done. But there is a concern, not just by myself, but also the residents here in Shrewsbury Logwood. After the workers would have done some excavation to repair these pipes, question is, are we going to see a road patching or road rehabilitation based on the scope of work that the NWC would have done? I made further checks to find out that there's an MOU with the NWC and the NWA. So once the NWC would have done any form of excavation on our main thoroughfare, it should be reported to the NWA. Thereafter, the NWA would do an estimate, send it over to the NWC, and have the road repaired. Let's hope that falls through, because the road here in Shrewsbury Lagoon is in a very good state, and as you can see, once you see the road start digging up, meaning that the NWC start doing some excavation work, meaning that the road start to deteriorate. Once again, I've been doing a following up with NWC and NWA as it relates to the road rehabilitation and the road excavation here in the community.